to this very beautiful 1 week retreat, there were two major observations. The first, a group of people who lived in that specific resort, they were paying around what 20, 25,000 per day. And the way they were interacting with people, effortless. They knew everybody's names. They were talking to every single one who was there. And it just felt so easy. And then there was another group of people just asking a lot of questions. How can we stay here? How much do we have to earn to be able to afford to stay in such a place? What are the things that we need to do? How much harder we need to work? Welcome to today's very, very special episode, episode number 31. And even before we get ahead with the topic, look who we have with us, the very, very magical Yogeshwari Sugumaran. So, Yogeshwari, big, big warm welcome. Thank you so much for putting in your time. Uh, I'll straight away start off with a question. Do the rich and the poor, will not say poor, rather, let's just say the scarce and the abundant. Let's use those words for today. Do they really communicate differently?
If we see whatever is going on in our head, we'll be able to understand the kind of communication that we are having inside our head. Now, do the rich and or do someone who has in abundance or someone who has in the mindset of scarcity, do they communicate differently to each other to in their head? And it's a big yes. When we see the way we communicate, if we are telling ourselves that, why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? Why am I stuck in this? Why that person gets everything? And then if you see the after effect, whatever we are getting, we are not happy about it. And when we meet someone who has what we want to have, outside we might be like, oh, so happy for you, we are really, I mean, you have no idea, but inside we would be burning in jealousy, with or without our consciousness. If we There's nothing about being a good person or bad person in this. You can be the best person in the world and still you would have a little bit of jealousy over there because of the lack that we have. On the other hand, people who have an abundance, I'm talking about people who are really good in their intention. They wouldn't mind or wouldn't get affected with whatever benefits or whatever good that we are getting because they already have them. And their way of asking question is, I'm stuck. How can I get out of this? Whom should I connect? Who can help me? What should I do? Now, if you see these two questions, scarcity mind asks, why am I stuck? Why should I go through this? Why only I should struggle? On the other hand, abundance mindset is asking, how can I overcome this? How can I take this problem and get a benefit out of this? And this is the difference I've seen so far in these two mindsets. Now, Surya, you went to the retreat and you have actually seen two different people firsthand. I would like to listen from you. What is the reason that these two set of people or these two different mindsets are polar opposites? And why people who are in the negative loop attract negative things and people who are in the abundance mindset attract a lot of opportunities? Why is that?
Now, I think when you look at the the scale of emotions, right? The pyramid, the emotions pyramid, we look at emotions like love and compassion, empathy, gratitude towards the upper end of the spectrum. And the more you are vibrating in those frequencies, you become a magnet to those same emotions. But we are always oscillating. When you look at the scarcity mindset, we are always oscillating between, we want to be in that state, the state of gratitude, bliss, compassion, empathy, and all, but we are subjected to uh, situations that happen to us, which puts us into anger, jealousy, guilt. And those are all those the emotions that's on the lower end of the spectrum. And there are three very important things here. First is the emotions that we are feeling, which are obviously transcribed as words that we speak, words that comes out of our mouth. But again, words don't really have any meaning as such. It's always the emotions behind those words. Now, as we are expressing the emotions, and again, emotions, the secret thing, which I think you beautifully described in one of your earlier lives, was about tonality. It's the tonality through which we firstly speak to ourselves, and obviously the outer reflection is merely an outcome of what we are feeling deep within. So these are the things that happens. Now, to give you two very contrasting examples. One, one of the hotel people, they were probably staying in that resort itself. They probably, this was the sixth or the seventh day that they were staying in the same resort. She came out, and the caretaker, one lady, was coming in beautifully decked in a sari, just like how in resort all the caretakers, they beautifully decorate themselves and all. And I literally saw her leave her baby with probably her partner or something. She walked up to that lady. Hi, Miss So and so. I didn't see you. Where were you? And that lady was like, no, I had to go to some Tiruvallur or somewhere. My parents were not well. Oh, is everything okay? I hope nothing too serious. No, he just fell from the washroom and we had to be hospitalized. So I had to take a 2 day emergency leave. Oh, you know what? I have a very, very famous doctor. Let me patch you up. And here is some money. Just take care. No, 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 there's no need of this. There's no need. No, 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 it's not. Don't think of it in this way, please. You've fallen in trouble. You need help. And while this conversation was going on, I was just observing. She took her name at least 4 times. And we know that names are the sweetest words in the world in the dictionary. So to decode today's episode, here are the five things that which I felt we can actually break that down, and no one better than Yogeshwari to guide us through this, because we've both seen both the ends of the spectrum. We both have had the opportunity to meet some pretty rich and abundant people. At the same time, we literally come from backgrounds where scarcity is our habit. So much that we at times forget when our words, thoughts, actions, emotions have turned scarce. And this episode is more of while waking up today itself, while I was half asleep, that's when these thoughts were going on in my mind. So when Yogeshwari asked me, shall we do today's live together? Immediately, this was the first thing. By the way, this is completely unscripted. We have absolutely no idea where the conversation is going to go. All we know is by the end of this conversation, we will not just be crystal clear about what is the specific differences between the abundance and the scarce, but we will also have specific action points to work upon our day-to-day life. So, firstly, I'll talk about the 5 points and then I'll give a couple of examples, and I want Yogeshwari also to enlighten us more on this. So, the 5 points is first is the language of fear versus the language of possibility. Always we are thinking about what's the worst that can happen. And you look at the most abundant people, they're always thinking what's the best that can happen. The second point is the power of questions, and how questions is the secret key that unlocks the mindset. At the end of the day, being scarce and being abundant is all about whether we are having the right mindset or not. I mean, you might not have $1 million right now, but you surely can have $1 million lifestyle, $1 million habits. The third point is the power of listening across different environments, whether it's growth environment or whether it's survival environment. How do you listen in a way that helps you learn and grow and makes the other person feel that yes, you are rich and abundant? The fourth, the habit loops, action steps, the 24 hours between the abundant and the scarce. Everyone has 24 hours. We're going to decode all of that and also decode how we can ensure that we practice. And finally, the habits of acceleration. One is daily habits, one is adding up and topping up. Just like in SIP, you have a step up SIP. Every year, don't keep your investment to a certain amount, step it up by a certain percentage as your income grows. Similarly, the habits that needs to be stacked up on top as we are working it out. So uh, now I'll come to a couple of the examples. So over the last couple of months, Yogeshwari, I've been going through, I think I sent a couple of videos to you also. No? Simon Squibb, he is called as the Gary Vaynerchuk of the UK. Stephen Bartlett, The Diary of a CEO, his podcast episodes have been going viral, left, right, and center. And then there is Dan Martell, his videos on AI, productivity, buy back your time. I mean, binging over them. And it just shocks me how effortless they are in terms of giving away every single thing that they have in store. Now, I want to know from you, over the last couple of years, firstly, what was that specific scenario, incident that finally made you realize I'm probably still in the scarce level and it's time. I have to break through this and move to the abundant level. I want to really want us to want you to guide us through the whole story, the incident, and the behind the scenes as well. What was going on in the thought level, the words level, the actions level? No, just think of it as as an impromptu prepared speech that I just threw at you. Hope that's okay.
Yeah, the first thing I want you to do is have some water. And I've been telling you to keep hot water next to you when you speak, you never listen. So have some water as I decode this. I just wanted to speak from what I was going through and what I'm going through currently. Every single time we start something, we know that the beginning phase is completely, you will have a lot of energy, enthusiasm, but the middle phase is messy because things slowly turn into your new normal, but you wouldn't be seeing any results outcome. And then the final phase is beautiful. We all know this. We learned this from Robin Sharma. Now, when recently I learned this over a YouTube. Most of us, what do? We look at something and we say that, wow, that person is really doing so well, and I want to learn that. We start learning that. And then when we start learning that, we'll have something called the unknown optimism. Like we will not know what is I don't know whether I'm using the right terminology or not. I hope I'm making sense though. We'll not to know the entire trajectory of that particular stream or field or work, anything of that matter, but we'll see the star in that field and we'll think the biggest influencer in that field and we'll think that we want to become like them. We'll start. But when we start, we'll have all the energy and we are in the learner phase. We learn. Now, from a learner, we have to do the work. We'll become the doer or the worker. Now, when we become the doer or the worker, that's the most messiest phase in any field, in any path that we take. Now, that phase is so difficult that we'll be putting efforts after efforts, time, money, energy, and still we'll not have any result that we wanted. And this is the phase where we'll know what it takes, but we don't have the mindset to push through. We'll be so scared. We'll tell us, probably this is not for me. We'll look at someone else in something else, a different path altogether, Look the star influencer over there, and we'll tell probably that person is doing well because it's easy. Let me go there. And from learner to a worker, we go back to square one of learner of some other field. Now, this loop is continuing in a lot of people. And that's why, if we see, even in our life, if you see, we wanted to do this coaching since 2020. But then what happened? We started looking up at people who are the star influencers. Right now, you took certain name, Matt Lakajev and Stephen Bartlett, and you said that their podcast is going viral. Now, to all of you who are wondering, wow, the podcast is going viral, let me also start the podcast. First, go back and check his videos, YouTube videos, and make note of when did he start. And when he started, how was it? When he started, how many views did he get? Do not compare someone's chapter 220 to your chapter 1. Do not compare. Now, that is the biggest problem most of us do, and that puts us to a scarcity mindset. We tell ourselves, oh, probably they have something that I don't have. Probably I'm not good at. I have done that many times. I've told myself, oh, probably they have a great camera that I don't have. In fact, I watched a YouTube video. That YouTube video is so professional. The camera clarity, editing, the way the person is sitting and talking, so professional. I fell in love. The user experience was extremely powerful, as if you are paying some 10 lakhs to a course and you're watching. That's the user experience in that video. And I asked myself, I wish I had a good camera so that I can also record like that. I wish I learned advanced editing so that I can also give that experience. Now, when you go back and watch their first video, you will get to know where did they start from. And they didn't wish for anything. They just acted on what they have, the resources that they have. They pushed through. When the messy phase came, they knew that if they stay long enough in the game, they will be the face in the future. They knew that. Yes, Surya.
It's very important that you mention this point because I think that is where the true authenticity and transparency actually lies. And I mean, when we look at YouTube videos and all those things, we can still find to this date countless of channels. I still remember back in my dating days, there was this channel I was following. It's called Alpha Male Strategies. The guy just opens up his camera, not even proper lighting or something, and goes on speaking without any proper script, 1.5, 2 hours. And now, of course, back then itself, 200K, 300K views. Now, now it's close to 1 million, 1.5, 2 million per view per video. And he's not changed anything at all. He just compiled all those learnings and created a book. And he just sells the book and right now probably start a coaching program. It's absolutely crazy how the power of consistency and everything works. And the fact that you're raw, you're authentic. If your content resonates with people, if your energy, your vibrations resonate with people, it's inevitable. And at the end of the day, what is communication? It's your stories, your experiences through which you're able to share your perspective, beliefs, and your insights. And that brings me now to the next question then. Firstly, how do we separate ourselves from the language of fear versus the language of possibility? Now, you and I remember just yesterday itself, we were having this conversation, right? That we don't want to really get into a job kind of a situation. We would like to we would like to work towards whatever it is that we are doing, just maybe change the approach because at the end of the day we just have to get a certain number of people to learn from us and that takes care of our expenses. But I right now in retrospection I'm able to feel that it goes into the whole scarcity element as well. And I remember using the words, oh, it's okay, I'll go for I'll stay with my job and let the job pay the bills and everything. So there are three things here. First is the language of fear, the language of the possibility. Language of fear is obviously scarce, language of possibility is abundant. And then there is an aspect of reality, the actual reality, which, of course, at the end of the day, everything is a mindset. If you want to crush through, you can crush through. But can you help us decode these three things? Why do we have so much of the fear of the scarcity? Why are we not able to break through the fear of possibilities? And how can we understand these two concepts to shape our reality, present reality, and shape shift that as well?
This is a beautiful thing that you shared right now, especially our yesterday's conversation where we wanted to pursue our lives every day. We wanted to pursue the communication path. We wanted to share this knowledge with a lot of people. But first of all, we need to survive for that. We need to be alive in order to do it. Now, if you ask yourself, when you said that, Yogeshwari, probably I will stay in my job. Probably you can also get a job. Probably we can do this, having a cushion at the back. What are you telling yourself? You are telling yourself that whatever the lifestyle that I have right now, I want to maintain that lifestyle. And while having that lifestyle, I will be doing what I love doing, right? The lifestyle that you have, probably you have a comfortable house, you have an AC, you have a room, you have a Wi-Fi, you have probably you can go out anytime and eat anything that you want and spend 20 to 30K just for the day to day monthly expenses, needs. And that's the lifestyle that you want to maintain, correct? When you want to maintain this lifestyle, at the same time, what are you aiming for? You are aiming for greatness. You are aiming for a shift in you. Through that, you are aiming for a shift outside where people will see that shift and walk up to you to get to learn from you. Now, these are two contrasts. If I compare most of the mediocre people, most of the average mindset, they think like this. They either want to maintain the lifestyle that they have, they don't want to give up anything, or they want to make it better and then chase their dream. Whereas if you see the best in the world, people who have literally cracked the code, they gave up their education, they dropped out from their schoolings, they left their family, they lived. We know the stories of multi-million businesses started in garage. They lived in the couch of a friend and then they pursued what they wanted. They didn't tell themselves that let me have a proper cushion behind me and then let me save up all the money and then let me do it. They didn't wait for the right time. Rather, they put themselves where the back is against the wall. And in the front, there's one more wall about to crush you. Yet they cracked it through. Because that mindset where you have nothing to lose, the next step is on the road. You have nothing to lose. That mindset, that state gives you more power, gives you more determination. It's a do or die situation. Now, this may not be the right thing for people who have family, people who have children, people who have dependents to take care of. But for us, we can do it. People who are not yet married, people who are married but they don't have children, people who really want to break through. So this is the difference between a mediocre mindset and an abundant mindset. They push through no matter what. Even if they have to sleep in the railway station, even if they have to live in someone else's couch. We know Alex Hormozy He literally said that he first lived in a shared apartment and then he lived in Laila Hormozi's parents' house. You know how difficult it is for a man to live in his woman's parents' house. How humiliating it is. And still, he did that. From that place, right now we know where they are. So we need to ask ourselves how important it is for us. If you want to, now this is an example for people who want to pursue their dream. I also want to give an example for people who are in your career. If you are telling yourself that my boss is pressurizing me so much, I have to report at 6 a.m. in the morning and they leave me at 12 p.m. in the evening, so I don't have time at all. If you are telling yourself that this is the only job that I have, I will leave this job when I get a better job. But in order to get a better job, I don't have the skill. And in order to upgrade for the skill, I don't have the time. Congratulations, stay in the job that is pressurizing you. Even if I don't say, you would be staying 2026, 2027, 2028. I'll be here doing the live in 2020, 2030. Meet me at that time. Probably I would be doing a live where 1,000 people are watching at the same time, and you would be in the same job, getting the same pay, pressurized by the same manager because you didn't take control of your life. Now, Surya, I wanted to ask you this: how someone can work on the mindset shift? I've just shared the two different mindsets. You are great at literally working on the mindset. How someone can do that? And then we'll move to the next topic.
Yeah, it's precisely that was the next question was all about. And we will be, and the secret key, what we kind of figured out for us, Yogeshwari and I, is the power of questions. Over the last couple of years, there have been moments when we went into a rant towards each other. I would just make her sit down and I would rant about what all is not going right. She would listen, she would absorb, and let's face it, it doesn't help. Never does. Ah, please.
No, I just wanted to add on to this that you would rant, you would vent. As a person here, when I'm sitting and taking all the rant and taking all the vent, it's not just it doesn't help, it it doesn't feel great as well. Imagine what are we doing to our loved ones.
What's even worse is when you rant and when you vent, you are actually expanding and magnifying the scarcity. That's the only thing that's happening. But over the last 1.5 to 2 months, to be precise, we've kind of mastered the art of asking questions. Now that I'm back from the retreat, we still need to get back into the momentum of our morning routine, the badminton, and I got some very nice exercise equipments, send a few to Yogeshwari also, to be able to hold ourselves accountable and do all those things. So we realize that it's not just that the rich people will be asking questions, they will be asking questions that nudges more towards possibility rather than fear. I mean, at every point of time, we have two choices. Let me give you an example. Like right now, let's just say for like Yogeshwari is fully devoted towards Sunsden. I'm still working under Dr. Priyank, Dr. MV Priyank, but then I'm also devoted towards Sunsden. Now, if we immediately have to work towards an income stream, guess what? The one income stream that has been following us for the last 5 years, and it's a passive income stream. It's called Udemy. And that's the one skill which I think Yogeshwari and I are absolutely amazing at, is creating world-class courses. But in retrospection, have we really put in that time, effort, and energy towards the courses? Not yet. Just through this discussion itself, the fact that I ask a question, yesterday only she asked me, what is it that we can do to activate our income stream? Guess what? We realize we want to work with 10 people per month. All we need is 4 people per month. That's all it takes to not just take care of our entire savings, our marketing, our tool cost, every single thing. Now, in 30 days, can't we speak to four people and inspire them to take action and join this 30-day journey? Well, we are communication coaches, and that's the and people ask us, can we join your program? People ask us, we literally say no. We just have to say a few more yeses. That's it. Again, all this is possible because we were asking questions. So if questions are the secret key, then we'll move to the next part of it, Yogeshwari. This is, and again, big thank you for giving me that option, because I remember every time we speak, we are always asking questions. I'll also take one very quick example, okay? Yogeshwari loves reading, okay? Actual reading. She never gets distracted. She loves taking the book and just reading, okay? That's her favorite hobby in the world. So yesterday, she asked me, reading is so interesting for me that I end up doing everything else in the world except the aspect of reading. So, but I realized audiobooks is something that I enjoy. So there was a certain audiobook, 100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozy. Can you help me find it? And I, as usual, it's the universe personified. Whenever Yogeshwari wants a gift, she tells me and I somehow manifest it and give it to her. So within a couple of clicks, we got the entire playlist by Alex Hormozy over Spotify, gave it to her. Now, the point is, she asked me a question. And because she asked me a question, the possibilities opened up. Everything is out there in the universe. You ask, and it shall be given. We literally practice that in our day to day life. We are each other's universe personified. So, the same thing for you as well. You are facing some problems today in your life, in your career, in your communication, in your journey, irrespective, and you feel that communication is the key. Guess what? The universe has blessed you with this live, this video, if you're watching the recording. And it's up to you how you're going to take, because we are here to give. Brings me to the third question. The aspects of listening. And I remember there were a lot of people, whether it's the person who sells us the mint leaves and curry leaves, the person who is probably your house owner, the landlord. Lot of people I have observed have asked you about communication. And what I've noticed is the difference between the scarcity and abundance. Listening also is another secret key. So what role does listening play? How do you listen? And what are the gifts that we can extract, the wisdom that we can extract just by pure, unconditional, unbiased, undivided attention, just by listening? Yogeshwari, over to you.
Recently, when I was having a conversation with one of the fellow LinkedIn member, I just asked, what is the one challenge that you're facing in communication? If it is solved, your career would literally go to the next level. And the answer that I received was, Yogeshwari, thank you for asking this. The biggest challenge that I face is in a meeting, I'm not able to organize my point immediately, and then talk, because the moment, even before I could do it, someone else does that, and I'm not getting the chance. I'm not able to quickly organize, quickly share, and my chance is lost. Now this is a challenge most of the people face, and the biggest problem is, we feel that if we are loud in the if we are loud in the meeting, we are visible. We feel that if we wanted to speak, okay, just give me a minute, something is disturbing me here. I don't know what and who is this. Okay, so we feel that if we speak often in the meeting, we are visible, we are respected, which is an absolute myth. The biggest influencers speak less and they speak last, because that gives them the time to listen to everyone's perspective, to organize their thoughts, and to put it across in a way that will make sense. People who talk immediately, they just ramble. People who take time, listen first, read the room first, take everyone's perspective, and then share. I really want to give an example here where there was a time when the room was full of people, stakeholders, and they were discussing something went wrong, and one of the uh, outsourcing partner couldn't give the result that they wanted to give. And the founder didn't feel good. The founder signed up for a purpose, signed them up for a purpose, and the result is not yet achieved after a month. And the outsourcing person couldn't give the proper response. Now everyone is talking. I was just sitting and listening over there. Now, after back and forth conversation, this, that happened, people turned towards me because I was quiet, turned towards me and they asked me, Yogeshwari, what do you think? I asked questions instead of answering because I was listening. What I felt was it's a complete confusion. The outsourcing person couldn't explain the problem clearly, and the founder couldn't understand what is the situation. So I asked a question. First of all, I was grateful for the outsourcing person's service. And then I said, this is the situation. Where are we right now? This is where we are hired. We partnered together. Where are we right now? Okay, the outsourcing person was like, Yogeshwari, now this is not possible. This issue is there. That issue is there. You imagine this, you imagine that. Okay, thank you so much. Again, I came back to the first question. This is where what is the purpose of our collaboration? When can we achieve this? And that's when a big thing opened that Yogeshwari, right now it's not possible. And the founder got the hit. Oh, so it's not possible. Then I asked the next question. Okay, I understand. When do you think it can be possible? Yogeshwari, we cannot actually say that. Now, if you see an expert who is working on that core thing, hired for their expertise of that thing, if they cannot answer what, when, how, which means they don't have the clarity. If they don't have the clarity, they cannot help us as well. Now, when they said, Yogeshwari, we are not sure when it is possible. And then I asked a question, okay, give me an approximate number and tell me what support do you need in order to make it possible. And then they came up with Yogeshwari, we have to buy this expensive tool, that expensive tool, this is this. That's why I was a little hesitant to share whether you would be okay with that or not. But even if we buy those expensive tools, we are not sure when it could be possible. I didn't give any conclusion. I didn't share my perspective. I turned towards the founder and I said, please take a call. Now, if you see, the entire room was in chaos. I didn't share my perspective. I set the context. I asked questions and I left the decision to the right person, to the concerned person. It's not I cannot take decision on behalf of someone. Right? Now, this is powerful, influential communication. And this is possible through the power of listening. Had I not listened throughout that 1 hour of chaos that was happening, had I jumped into sharing my perspective, I would have been a fool over there. Why? Because I don't have the expertise what that outsourcing person has. I don't know what exactly they're working on. I don't have the data. I don't have the number. So I'm an outsider over there. Now, if I share my perspective, I would be an utter fool, and it's so easy for them to reject and throw my opinion outside, which I've seen happening. Now, just because I asked a question, which we shared previously, and I listened carefully, the power of listening, I was able to push the right buttons, get the answer, extract the answer from their mouth. And the founder still values me for that. The founder asked me, Yogeshwari, how did you do this? I said, it's the power of strategic questioning. Yogeshwari, can you teach me that? That's how you influence others. And that is the power of listening. So, Surya, I wanted to ask you, you are such a great listener, especially when both of us are having a discussion, heated argument, and I'm vulnerable. I walk up to you and I ask you, saying that I wanted to share something. Can I have a minute? You literally leave everything and you give your 100% attention. Where did you learn that? And what is the importance of that?
No, it's perfect that you asked me this question because it brings us to the actual habits of the abundance and the scarce. So growing up, I realized that parents, they don't really have that entire process of listening to us or talking to us in a way that we would want. We always want a judgment-free space. And the first people in this planet that we expect that from is our parents. But when you tell them that I don't like this subject or I don't like this teacher, guess what? The first thing that they do, they charge you. The same thing, you expect the second place which you call home is your school. But guess what the teachers do? They take it in their ego. How dare you not like my subject? So probably growing up, my childhood experiences is what propelled me to master this habit. When I'm there, I'm present, I'm 100% there. And it's always a conscious effort because when you're talking to someone, there's always a conversation that's going inside where you're agreeing or disagreeing to what the other person is saying. But I shut out all the noise and I just keep asking myself this one question: how can we make this conversation the greatest conversation I have ever experienced in my life so far? Repeatedly asking the same question, irrespective of whom I'm speaking to. It could be the AC mechanic, it could be the grocery seller, it could be the milkman, it could be the even the garbage collector. How can that conversation be the greatest conversation I've ever had in my life? Now, when you ask me this question in retrospection, I'm able to recollect that this is what I keep telling myself. And maybe that's why wherever it is that I go, there's always something memorable that can be extracted out. Whether it's the interaction with the Vande Bharat guy who serves us food, or the co-passenger, anyone for that matter. And the more we are able to practice that in our day-to-day lives, the easier it becomes when you practice it with the legends in the planet.
And
And that's, yeah, please,
yeah,
please.
please proceed.
Are go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. And this habit of making the that conversation the greatest conversation. In fact, I was able to remember that how you do anything is how you do everything. The same concept, you keep it for anything, everything. How can I make this speech the best speech ever? How can I make this relationship the best relationship ever? How can I create this course the best course ever? Now, this mindset of making the best, doing the best, putting in, giving the entire heart, soul, and yourself for that particular situation is something called as being present, isn't it? And I want you to help us understand how can we also do that.
So there are, I mean, we are covering the last 2 points for today's session, then Yogeshwari already. The first is the actual habit loops that
Mhm.
can help us stay in that abundant zone and the habits that accelerate our growth. So the very first thing that comes in is habit for the mind, body, and spirit. The first and foremost thing is, for example, we are right now playing badminton. We are working out. We are waking up early. We are actually walking and burning out our body. The moment you burn out your body, you will realize that your body posture changes, opens up. You've been losing quite a few weight kgs over the last couple of weeks. So have I. And when people are around us, they tell us that it feels amazing to talk to us. And that's because we take care of our body. So habits for the body, habits for the mind. Yogeshwari and I, we are so proud about this that every single day, there's not a single day that is missed where we do not learn a new thing, irrespective of whether we are able to immediately implement it or not. Ideally, we are supposed to, but it's not possible all the time. But then the fact that we are stacking up learning, when we sit down to implement, what comes out is just world class. Yogeshwari and I got a chance to work under a digital marketing agency as consultants, and we were told to create courses on topics we had no idea about back then. She created a course on organic marketing. I created a course on create a lead magnet. We didn't even know what to do, but we used the power of AI and we created a short 30-minute course. People were watching and they were like, oh my God, this is so easy to implement as well. Thank you so much. This was life-changing stuff. Because we consistently make that's habit for the mind. Third is habit for the spirit. Now, we have different spiritual beliefs, and we always have a constant practice towards those spiritual beliefs. For me, I'm more into introspection, a lot of asking questions, a lot of reflections, and I do that on a day-to-day basis, connecting with the creator. For her, she has her own weekly church visits and reading her spiritual texts and everything. Now, when these habits are in place, you can understand, of course, we have been able to mend our relationship with our parents. We are in touch with them. We love them very much. That also plays a very, very big role. Now, these are the habits that helps us to stay in that zone. Other than that, you need abundant accountability. So for us, abundant accountability is each other. For us, abundant accountability is showing up every single day like this to share whatever it is that we've observing, we've learned. Our accountability is through our podcasts. Our accountability is through our cohorts. The work that we do, the deep work that we believe in. Now, this is one aspect of it which we have been following. Now we know that there are certain things that will take us to the acceleration phase. And this is what I would like to hand over to Yogeshwari. When we look at the abundant and the way they communicate to themselves, today we might not have $1 million in our bank account, but we can definitely live $1 million life. Can you give us a glimpse of how that $1 million life looks like in terms of learning, implementation, execution, everything put together in one simple 24-hour window, which it's not that we haven't been following, we have been following. We will just first get the glimpse of the picture and then we'll come now. The last thing we will discuss is a strategy behind achieving it. Over to you. I'll just connect my charger real quick.
It all starts with the mindset. I recently saw a picture which says MS Dhoni is there, and the picture has a caption saying that even if you have 1% chance of winning, fight for it. Now, when I read that, immediately my brain said, the moment 90% of I go to the side of losing, I give up. And that's when it hit hard that the people who get success, the people who are abundant, the people who are rich, they fight until the game is over. Even if there is 0.1% of chance, they still fight. That's a mindset aspect of it. Now, this is just one glimpse of a mindset like this. If we take the best athletes in the world, if we take the richest tycoons in the world, if we take the corporate leaders in the world, their mindsets are different. They tell themselves that I will find my opportunity even in the most adverse situation. Things are going wrong, things are not in my favor, but I will find a way to make it work. That's about the mindset. Now, the first thing in fact, Surya, you can help me with the movie that you recommended me, where Sylvester Stallone's movie, I guess, where he was a stand-up comedian, and then he was an alcoholic, and then someone asked him to play a role. Yeah, he was a theater artist and then alcoholic. Someone asked him to play a role and then gave them a book saying that this is the person that we want you to become. Did I mess up with the actor's name?
That's what I'm thinking. How is Sylvester
Okay.
Stallone? It's a
Okay.
John Cena movie, and the name of the
Okay.
movie is Ricky
Yeah.
Stenicki.
Hariki Seneki. Yeah, I am very pathetic at remembering the actor's name and the movie name, but I loved the concept that the movie was built on. Someone who is an alcoholic addict, if they don't have alcohol 24 bar 7, their hands would shake. From that state to someone who is well groomed, well behaved, the perfect man anyone would want. The transformation is possible because of that guidebook that he received. You can watch that movie, Ricky Stiniki, highly recommended, highly transformative. It would change your mindset like anything. And that's the one line moral of that movie is if you want to transform your life, if you want to change your life, find a role model and do exactly what they do. Copycat. People say that we shouldn't be copying others. Well, you have to copy until you find your own self. If you want to be the richest man in the world, find the richest man and do what he is doing. If you want to be the best surgeon in the world, find the best surgeon and do what they are doing. I and Surya, we want to be the greatest coach in the world. And that's why we keep Tony Robbins as our role model. We want to do what he is doing as his day to day habits. And when we conduct a session, even if there is one person in that session, Surya and I, we stand up and we are in our best energy because that's what Tony Robbins does. Right now, if you are thinking, wow, Yogeshwari and Surya, they speak so nicely. Their energy is contagious. They keep smiling. How do they do it? Well, we have the Bible. Well, we have the role model in front of us. We look up to Tony Robbins and we do what he does. People may call us copycats, and it's absolutely okay. We don't bother because that's how you can literally transform yourself, transform your life. Now when it comes to day-to-day habits of a millionaire, the first thing is they wake up before the world wakes up, and then they do not touch their device until they are ready to open themselves for the world. Now what do they do in that time? From the moment they wake up, they give themselves 2 to 4 hours just with them. They, Ankur Warikoo keeps telling that he just sits quietly in a corner for half an hour, does nothing. In fact, I tried it, I loved it. I wake up, walk out of the bedroom, sit in the hall, and I just sit. Probably, if you are an introvert, you can try that. You might love it. The first half an hour of the morning time with yourself. Introverts, you might love being with yourself before you can open up yourself to the world. Try that out. It's wonderful. If you are someone who wants to work out, hit your, even if you don't have to go to the gym, do your exercise in the morning as soon as you get up. These are my habits. And Surya is also following that. We get up, my ice trays are ready. I put that in a bowl and I dip my face. That jump starts my body. And then I take warm water, lemon, salt, and honey. That revitalizes my body, gives me that instant energy that I need in the morning. And that warms my body as well. And then I, if possible, I sit quietly. Now I sit quietly in silence during these two times. When I'm having my warm water, I just sit with myself. And then I do my workouts in the morning. I go out, play badminton, come back, freshen up, and then I sit for the live. I wake up at 4. I sit for the live, sit in front of my system at 7:30. From 4 to 7:30 is my time. I don't touch my device. I don't check any notifications. I don't check others' status updates. And that gives me the energy to be at my peak productivity throughout the day. Surya, what are the things that I missed out in the millionaire habits? And what are the things that you follow?
So while you were explaining this, I remember we had this conversation before also. Like there are a lot of people who are doing it their way. Different people have different lifestyles. Like when you look at an Alex Hormozy, he doesn't even believe in stuff like meditation and all. He's like, shut down everything. Don't even let sunlight come in. Go into laser focused deep work. Atomic habits, different mindset. Think and grow rich, different mindset. All these things. So what I would do is, if I'm watching this video, is I would actually first take a sheet of paper and on one side and divide it into two parts. On one side, write down what is my average routine. If possible, I would do it on an Excel sheet. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then time wise, what time do I wake up? Hour by hour, breakdown of what do I do for an entire week. Now that's one Excel sheet tab. On the second tab, I would go and again copy the same thing, but this time I would do my ideal life that I'd like to have. If I have the $1 million, if I have the greatest company, if I have every single thing that I need, what would my lifestyle look like? Now, when you look at these two tabs separately, or you put those two tabs into ChatGPT, the Excel file, you ChatGPT itself will break that entire thing down to you, where you are, where you need to go, what are the steps that you need to take. Or you can also analyze that for yourself. Because what I have realized so far is, yes, you can hear from a lot of habits and the lifestyle from different people who are practicing it, but you will only get to practice it for yourself when you are able to resonate with what's working for you. So the best way to do so is to just have that awareness of, okay, where is my time going, and accordingly work that out. And now when I did that, guess what, Yogeshwari and my lifestyle are slightly different. The way we do our deep work is different. The way we repurpose our deep work is different. The way we think is different. The way we, of course, we've figured out a way how we complement each other, but I can tell you we are actually full-fledged polar opposites. Now that's the beauty. So now to summarize whatever we have discussed today in today's video so far, the first thing we went through was understanding the different language patterns, the power of questions, the listening styles, the different habit loops, and then the elements of growth that can that that can turn us from scarcity to abundance. Where does communication play a role in all this? Let's face it, when you start communicating with yourself, only then you communicate with the world. So it all starts with the self. The final takeaway so far is action is everything. You take action and you can correct and recorrect. I would like to leave us all with this last thought, which I would like Yogeshwari to bless us with. By the way, a big thank you. I think this is the longest episode that we both have done. So it's
Yeah.
crazy. So Yogeshwari, the question is, now that we've understood and established the difference between scarcity and abundance, what would be that immediate first action step that we need to take in order to really get rid of the scarcity once and for all and unlock the abundance once and for all? Over to you.
The first thing is observe the kind of questions you're asking to yourself. Observe your language pattern that you are speaking to yourself inside your head. We are speaking to ourselves more than we are speaking to anyone in the world. Write it down. And then once you have written it down, rewatch this episode and reframe your language. Reframe your language to the abundance language. Instead of, if you're asking why am I stuck, why is this career like this, why my life is like this, ask how can I fix it, whom should I approach, what help do I need, who can help me with this. So change all the why questions to how, what, who, when, right? And now the second thing is, you must have listened to us about the millionaire's lifestyle. When we listened to someone speaking like this, when we listened to the podcast, the greatest people speaking about their lifestyle, we tried implementing their lifestyle into our lifestyle. Guess what? We didn't enjoy. And just because we didn't enjoy, we couldn't follow through. We didn't have the consistency. So, what works for me may not work for you. What works for Surya may not work for you. As you heard, we both are polar opposites. He is someone who is action packed. I'm someone who is calm, and I'm a little bit of introvert. So, in fact, whatever we are sharing, it doesn't work for each other. But what we have done is we tried it, we tested it, whatever we liked, whatever we enjoyed, we kept. Whatever we didn't enjoy, we threw it in the dustbin, and we recommend the same for you. You may listen everything from us. Try it out. If you're not enjoying, throw it in the dustbin. Find out what works for you. Surya hates exercise, but he loves badminton. I enjoy exercise as well as badminton. When it comes to badminton, Surya gets like enough. I don't want to do it anymore. But when Surya, it's like, on the other hand, I am okay. My partner right now is exhausted. Is there anyone who can play with me? I still have energy. I'm like that, right? So you need to find out what do you enjoy. If you want to do something consistently for a long period of time, you have to enjoy that process. If you don't enjoy that process is not for you. Even if the God is coming and telling you you should do it, please don't listen, because you need to find out what works for you, and then make a note of it. Start creating a system around it. We had already had a conversation about the systems previously. Go watch the that episode where we shared how did we create system in order to make things work. Yesterday I went to sleep at late, so I missed my 8 o'clock live. Just because I didn't go to sleep at 8 o'clock, I couldn't wake up at 4 o'clock. And I missed my 8 o'clock live. That's why I just begged Surya, can I please join with you? Because it would be great if we do it together at 8:30. Now, I didn't follow the system, so I couldn't wake up. I'm not blaming myself. I'm just telling myself that I should go to bed early. So if you want to wake up early, you need to go to bed early. That's the system, works in tandem. If you are going to bed, I went to bed at 12 at night last night, and I couldn't wake up at all. So find what works for you, create a system around it, and it's going to be a cakewalk. By anytime if you miss anything, don't beat yourself up. Just find out a way to do it on that day. Today I might miss my morning exercise, but I'm still going to do my exercise in the afternoon or the evening. There's no compromise in that. Do not blame yourself, beat yourself up. Just do it no matter what. And that's what I want to end the session with.
This session couldn't have been any better, I feel. And now that we've probably been through this entire depth, again, you know the drill, okay? Just go through the details, share your learnings below, of course, and then you can directly DM us as well. You can invite us, you can get all the notes and every single thing. Slowly, slowly, we're in the process of updating all of it. And most importantly, stay tuned, because every single day we are going, slowly, we are going to the next level. Somewhere I'm feeling that now that 30 days are over, we are in day number 31, and now we're slowly moving towards the magic number 50. The depth is going to increase a lot more. Yes, there will be skill set involved, but again, communication is all about mindset. Irrespective of which language you are in, which country you are in, this is a skill that can be implemented in any language for that matter. Yogeshwari speaks 3 languages. I speak 3 languages, 2 partial, 3 more little here and there, and it always works. The techniques that we are teaching you works like magic, and we are just literally giving it away. Again, lot of stuff coming up your way. Stay tuned. See you all tomorrow with Yogeshwari at 8 o'clock, with me at 8:30 a.m. IST. With that, this is Dr. Surideep with
The most magical Yogeshwari. That's what you're
signing
supposed to
off.
say.
No, I mean, I was waiting for you to say. Signing
Yeah.
off. We love you all so much. Mwah. Take care.
Bye bye.